Alright guys, so I'm gonna go over the notes that I have here. It's more of a psychology video. Since yesterday I took a trade, even though we're gonna get to that, but as of right now I'm just waiting for FOMC to come out to then eventually start to look for more trades, which is something, like we're just tape reading AM session. You can see the market is just skyrocketing all the way to the upside. I just simply want to wait for FOMC and see what happens here. This week has been very chaotic, so that's kind of why I'm just like a little bit, I'm just trying to keep my cool, and really just like, again, I am switching. So there's a lot of things going on this week. Switching from mechanical to discretionary, doing this and that, changing my perspective on trading, this and that. Like so many things have happened this week that I just really I want to end the week off here, but I know I'm not going to be able to do that. And I just have so many other things, I really want to get to right now in this video that I want to talk about. But the first one has to be this. So this is like what the main video is going to be about, is this right here. Like I said, is me with trading right now. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And what I mean by that, as if you've been watching my videos recently, you understand why I'm trying to be less mechanical and go more discretionary, and what changed my perception upon that. Mechanical, I did say less is more. I even have it right here, less is more. But then this is what changed it. Whenever I ask why, if I'm being real, I was watching Blasian, another good ICT trader, and I was watching one of his videos. It was a live execution / tape reading session, and how he was reading price. And I came to the conclusion that I have learned everything that he has learned. We have watched the same person on YouTube for free, and he is succeeding. He is using these concepts to the next level. Why have I been holding myself back? What am I doing that is holding my progression back? And it really just hit me, and that's kind of where I came to the conclusion that I was simply using the logic, not really the logic, but the concepts as a pattern. Here you have a buy side imbalance, but that's a pattern. If you don't understand the context of why this buy side imbalance should be left unfilled, then you don't have the concepts to a deeper level of understanding. If you're not using the concepts to a deeper level of understanding with price and understanding why price shouldn't come back down there, you're gonna have to really ask why. You have to build a narrative skill. And that's one of the things ICT always talked about, getting a good feel for what price is doing, no matter what. You always want to just get a better feel for what price is doing at the current moment, and don't use this as a pattern logic. And I feel like I was just doing that. And then of course, not really strategy hopping, using other people's entry models, this, that, just trying to have a good performance. But in reality, it was never, no, like I said in that one video, like I said in this video right here, which was this actually changed my perspective of trading too. Whenever I was tape reading one day, or the day after the day after I watched Blasian, it was 9 p.m 10 p.m I was watching Blasian, and I was like, man, I was on my phone on my bed thinking to myself, I've learned the same thing. He's just applying it, and he's able to use it to the next level. I can do the same. He's human, I'm human. We've learned from the same person. We both have the same capabilities, and we're just able to really, it comes down to who puts in more work. That's all it is. Who puts in more work, and who, has a deeper level of understanding and tries to get a deeper level of understanding of what the markets are doing, and using the concepts and applying them to read the markets, So again, you are the holy grail, not a strategy. And that's whenever I started annotating, whenever I started to change my perspective in the mindset of not really using the patterns, or not really. Before this, I was really just having a bias, I wasn't really having narrative. I would have a bias. That's all I was doing. I was having a bias, but I just wasn't having a deeper level of understanding why this bias should get respected, when and where, how. I wasn't really asking those deep questions, why price should move from here, and when and how should it do it. And then eventually, why is it happening this way? Why isn't it happening this way? When you're asking those logical questions, you're able to get a better understanding of what it's doing and why. And just asking why to the point so much that the markets just answer everything that you have, and of course, if it's not answering at the current time, it will eventually, you have to be patient, you have to see, because, when certain PD arrays are hit, a fair value gap or something, I'm watching it, I'm not entering there. Like I said yesterday, whenever I was on that GJ trade, I didn't enter those two more inversion fair value gaps that formed after the first one. The first one I entered, and I realized, why did price disrespect this? Asking why, trying to get a better feel for what you're doing, is always the most important thing. And just that's kind of what changed my perception of trading. It was the why. That's the main thing. So I have my notes here, and I'm going to show you guys. So this is from yesterday, and then today. So the first part, the first three, is I'm going all in. I have confidence in my ability to read price, and overall using ICT concepts and Romeo CRT. I feel as if I have a good understanding now. It's simply the trade management and not having human error in place, and not being complacent and putting in the work to continue studying and being patient and disciplined. So this was before I bought those two accounts last night. Again, my ego, not really ego, but it was just like I've been doing this for so long that I have confidence. It's not like my confidence is there whenever I was done tape reading those 2 past days. I just felt like my confidence was skyrocketing because I was able to read the drawn liquidity. I was able to understand why price was moving from here to here, and I was able to understand how my bias was correct and why it was correct and why I got respected, and just like other things too, like why price should reject here and why should price bounce here, and all this, like reading the market back and forth, but that gave me confidence, and it wasn't really ego, it was just confidence. I felt confident in my ability to read price. I've been doing this for a very long time, so I was willing to take the risk. Like I said yesterday, I was willing to take the risk because if you're not able to take risk, you're not able to really grasp and like learn from different perspectives. You have to shift your perception upon what you think the market is going to do and why, like that's very, very important. And then again, I'm taking the risk to buy more accounts in the hopes of passing a couple. I've come to the realization that when we trade only one account, we become super emotional and tend to worry about it way too much, about the account alone, which I will eliminate by having more than one. So that's kind of another thing too. Whenever you have one account, I feel like you become super attached to a single account, which isn't, the best case here. Like you want to have less emotional attachment to like prop firms. You want to just go with different, like prop firms have multiple accounts, and of course you want to have a system, an edge. You want to be able to do that. I have an edge personally. I have my mechanical strategy I can always bounce back to and always feel a little bit more confident, as opposed to like just reading price and order flow and like taking different entry models and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, price is fractal. That mechanical model, it does have a high probability, it does have a high win rate, but the discretionary perspective also does have that too, because you're able to identify why, when, where, how, and it just takes your trading and your knowledge whenever you're trading to the next level, because you're just trying to have a better feel for what price is doing and understanding why. So entry models, again, those are patterns. You don't want to pattern trade. You want to have a logic behind anything you do in the market, and that's what makes that pattern successful. You can trade the 22 model and be successful, but as long as you have logic as to understand why this fair value gap should get respected and that break in market structure should also get respected, and why price should be bullish or bearish, you'll be able to understand that once you have logic. So it doesn't really matter what entry model you use. Again, the entry is usually the easiest part, as ICT would always talk about. It's really just understanding the drawn liquidity and understanding why price should draw to that area. So that's the main thing, like everything is starting to click for me, and I don't want to get complacent. Even though I passed an account in one day or phase one in one day, like I don't want to get complacent. I want to continue to tape read, continue to like put more annotations to my chart, and continue to like use, like what I have and refining it, and like just making my skills of reading price even sharper, because I feel like there's no limit to how good you can get, in my opinion. There's no limit. Only you set the limits on yourself. There's no limitations. Your mind is limitless. You just set those limits upon yourself. So yeah. And then another one is not trying to rush the process, simply accepting the time aspect and only trading New York, not trading any other session or trying to make more than one trade or trying to take more than one trade, especially after when we have a loss. Choose a high quality setup and stick with it. Be patient and remember the higher time frame has more power, and keep asking why price is moving there and taking our trading to the next level. Again, I did go against that yesterday. I didn't really stick with it. I did take more than one trade. I took a loss and a win. And then, of course, I traded outside of New York session. But everything else I did in there was correct. I had the higher time frame drawn liquidity. I had everything in the higher time frame perspective on my favor. I simply just was making lower time frame mistakes. I wasn't able to really identify, when that retracement was going to simply just stop retracing and when it was going to start moving, But eventually we did. So, and again, learning from those experiences, those are all learning experiences. I don't want to regret. I don't want to have any sort of just like bad negative thoughts of those moments when I lose. They're all learning experiences. They make me a better trader at the end of the day, because I'm able to put risk. I'm able to identify my emotional flaws. I'm human, I'm not an AI, I'm not a robot. I can't just simply have logic all the time. I have emotions, I make mistakes, like everybody else. I'm not perfect. And then changing our perception about trading and how we use the concepts of ICT and Romeo. We were trying to mainly pattern use the concepts and expecting them to work without having logic and a deeper understanding. When you dig deep, you find gold you're looking for. So again, I was using the concepts mainly as a pattern, mainly as a pattern. It wasn't something that I came to the conclusion only until like recently. It wasn't something I ever really thought of, I wish I would have caught on sooner, but it's just something that you really don't catch on to because when I was learning ICT, I feel like I just really wasn't soaking in all the words he was talking about, and like what he was talking about, like how to read price. I feel like I was really just trying to have a pattern, have a strategy, something that works here and there, and just use it to my advantage, when in reality it wasn't like that. Price is going to be different. There's going to be different conditions, it's going to move different, and you got to be able to identify why and understand how. But yeah, you were using the concepts. Every order block we saw, we were drawing it out, or every fair value we saw, we were just waiting for it to get inverse to change order flow and all this and that. But we weren't taking it to like a deeper level of understanding and using every single PD array and trying to like realize why should price make this inverse and why price should reverse here instead of there. So whenever I started like tape reading and like really just diving deep and like asking these questions and like annotating to the next level, that's when that's like right now I'm starting to see my trading improve a lot. And I don't want to become complacent again. I want to continue to do this, but I feel myself getting there. Like I'm feeling myself getting a little bit more complacent, which is not good. So I'm about to start working on that, and that's kind of why I want to take it easy this AM session and really like soak it in, review, analyze, see what I can do better, and just like review my tape reading sessions and then start annotating here again. Only thinking about the skill of reading price action and not the money aspect. When it comes to reading price or even thinking about taking a trade, trying to simply focus on what the market is telling us and simply trying to understand why. And again, like whenever you're not reading price for what it is, you're not logical. You tend to make emotional mistakes. One of them can be taking a trade too early. Like just trying to enter too early or trying to get FOMO. And you're going to have to be able to, really just like control yourself whenever you're reading price. Not every single price lag is going to be good to trade. You have to be able to identify that, like when is it high probability, when isn't it high probability. And that comes over time and in experience and understanding what you're looking for and why, and what makes these setups more high probability. Because if I was taking every 1 minute buy center balance on the 1 minute, if I was trading that, it wouldn't be high probability. I would have to have context, narrative. I would have to have logic behind my entry and just trying to understand why this one is high probability compared to every other fair value gap, or why is this order block more important than every other order block. It comes down to narrative. It comes down to understanding prices fractal, putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Like I was talking about, every time frame is one time frame. Not every time frame is one time frame, because every time frame shows you the same price. They're all at the same price, but they have different pieces of the puzzle that you have to put together in order for the puzzle to be complete. And once you have the puzzle complete, you're able to identify you would likely want to enter off of a certain PD array, or where you would likely have an ideal area to make the trade more high probability. That's kind of why it's very important to be scaling time frames, identifying why you should enter here and why not there, and just identifying why price should come back down here, or why price should reverse here or retrace here, and then expand higher or expand lower. So it's very important to understand why, and combining everything and trying to have a better sense of the market and price itself with the concepts. Need more self-confidence and a deeper connection with myself to have a better control of my emotional attachment to the trades we take and the accounts we have. Learn to use fear as our fire. Outwork your self-doubt to the point where we have the ultimate confidence in our ability to trade and read price. So this is another thing, like that's kind of why I don't want to take trades. I want to read price. I want to try to get a better feel for what it, because I feel like I've just been only doing it for 1 week. So I want to do it for a little bit longer, continue to, probably lower the risk on my other account. And then of course, probably pass phase 2 in a couple of weeks and then get a payout, So I want to continue to do this. I don't want to stop. I don't want to be complacent. I want to outwork my self-doubt, because I still have some self-doubt whenever it comes to trading like this, discretionary based. And that's kind of why I want to go back to my mechanical. But I'm telling myself, if you understand why price, if you keep asking why, you're going to be able to understand why you feel like that, why you feel doubtful, and, what makes, if you're just able to continue to just review, tape read, and annotate, and just just understand why price is moving here and why it's moving there, and you're just able to understand why certain things happen in the past, and you're able to understand how you can capitalize upon it, you're going to be able to outwork the self-doubt, and you're going to be able to have confidence in your ability to trade and read price. And going over your old trades, going over your old data, seeing what trades you like the most. And that's what I've been trying to do recently, is seeing what trades I liked, what type of style of trading I liked, and where I could have capitalized upon more, from my old trades, because I wasn't using every single thing that I've been using now. I wasn't using consequent encroachment of the wicks, mean threshold of the order blocks. I wasn't even using order blocks at times. I was just simply using the mechanical model, fair value gaps, and that's it, and breaker blocks, but taking that level and just applying it everywhere. So that's kind of another thing too, so that's basically really it. Again, we have FOMC. I'm going to probably just chill for there and wait for that to come out for today. And then eventually, see if I can find a trade, probably lower the risk on the other account. And again, I don't want to get euphoric. I don't want to get super confident overzealous. I want to just simply just relax and take it easy, you know, like, and just like understand I can continue to get better here from this point forward. Like, there's no limit to how good I can get, you know. And there's going to be mistakes, and there's going to be certain things we continue to, like, you know, fall back upon that we know we shouldn't do. We're going to get better over time. It just takes patience. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication to do this, you know. So, and again, just not focusing on any monetary value or success. Continue to understand and continue to get better at reading price. That's all it is. It's a skill. It's a skill, like, you know, like the football players or the basketball players. It's a skill whenever you come to, you know, dribbling the ball and then shooting the ball, you know. It's a skill. Reading, you know, what your opponent's going to do and trying to defend it, you know. So it's a skill. It's a skill that you have to work upon, and you have to continue to analyze and ask why is this person going to move here and dribble the ball there, or why is this person going to shoot here with this foot from this angle, why, you know, and just trying to get a better feel for that, you know, and continue to analyze, continue to, you know, use every day as a means to continue to grow. That's all it is. And then again, here we have this one I'm going to be looking to trade today, probably lowering the risk, because if I see the mechanical model, I'll probably up the risk a little bit, but I just don't want to be risking as much. And, you know, I just want to be consistent, you know, in my approach. I want to be consistent and continue to work on my skills. But I know myself emotionally, if I see something really, really good, I'm probably going to up the risk. But I'll try not to, you know, and I'll try to take only one trade for today if I do see anything. So I won't force anything, you know. If I have to sit on my hands and just continue to understand and get a better feel for price, you know, then I will. So that's pretty much really it. Peace.